the trucking industry is going through a transition away from legacy refrigerant. And for those who maybe don't understand why that's happening, I'd like you to give us a little bit of background on why it is that we are transitioning with refrigerant today.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you think about air conditioning systems on either heavy duty trucks or even your own light duty commercial vehicle, it's one of the few things that's changed the least in an automotive vehicle. There have only been three refrigerants in the history of automotive vehicles. It started out with R12, which was an ozone depleting potential refrigerant, and that was regulated away to R134A, which has been the legacy air conditioning refrigerant for light duty and heavy duty fleets. And starting in Europe in around 2011, and then moving to the US in North America around 2013, the industry started to move away from 134A for light duty vehicles. Okay. So if you think about that, they moved away from 134A, which no longer causes ozone depletion potential, but does have global warming potential, or GWP. That's kind of what you'll hear everyone in the refrigerants world refer to it as, is HFC refrigerants like 134A are global warming potential products. So in the light duty fleet, the US began converting to a product called R1234YF, and it is non-ozone depleting potential and it is non-global warming potential. And that transition's been underway heavily in the US since 2013. So today in the light duty fleet, over 95% of all vehicles are manufactured today with 1234YF. There's still a demand for R134A in the light duty fleet because there are so many cars still in service that were filled with 134A. But this is a transition that, again, has been going on for years on the light duty commercial side. It is now going to be moving into heavy duty. So it's new and newer for folks that are in the medium duty, heavy duty, and on and off road space. That transition is just now starting for that segment of the market.
So what model years would we see some of this newer style refrigerant already being used? Do you have an idea of that?
Yeah. So from a regulatory perspective, starting in model year 2025, all light duty vehicles will transition away from 134. So there's still a few out there, but 2025 and beyond, everything in the light duty space is going to be migrating to 1234YF. In the heavy duty space, the technology transition rule, which is a part of the AIM Act, and the AIM Act is the way the EPA manages the phase down of HFC refrigerants. So that's 134A. Those vehicles are required to make a change model year 2028. So there's still a little bit of time. Now, when you and I talked about this at the APEX show a year ago, the initial proposal was to transition sooner. But I think what happened is the EPA did receive a lot of feedback from manufacturers and OEMs in the heavy duty space that said, we need a little bit more time to get ready for this transition, to do it in a way that makes sense for our companies and for our customers. And so that date was moved to 2028. So the good news is you've got this legacy of experience in the light duty fleet to help bridge the heavy duty end users. And you also have a couple more years for the industry to get ready for that. And that really is going to involve the OEMs and the equipment manufacturers starting to prepare to transition from 134A to 1234YF in those heavy duty fleets.
Okay, and that makes sense to me because they're already going to have to reformulate the way the engines are built and operate for that 2027 change in NOx emissions, where they're doing another big reduction. So this gives the time for the OEMs to get the engine platforms where they can both accomplish both those goals. Is that correct?
That is correct.